Hi, I'm Polly Dean Harrison with the FinTech Times, and I'm here at Insurtech Insights. Could you introduce yourself for us, please?
Hi, Polly. Nice to meet you. I'm Gil. Gil Arazi from Israel. I'm based in Tel Aviv. I'm a veteran of the insurance industry, so for almost 3 decades, unbelievably. For 21 years, I held C-level positions in the top leading insurance companies in Israel. And in the last 6 years, I started FinTLV 6 years ago. I founded the company, and we are now one of the leading global Insurtech VCs. We have almost $500 million in assets under management, and we lead Insurtech rounds at the leading companies like Hippo Insurance, Next Insurance, Corvus, WeFox, Uncork, and many more. And I'm happy to be here today.
Amazing. We're so thrilled to have you. And how are you finding the event so far?
Oh, the event is amazing. It's so great to meet people again, to shake real hands, and not just say hello to the Zoom camera. And I'm super excited being here and taking part of this amazing event.
Absolutely. It's nice to finally be in a room with people, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And nobody here thinks about COVID anymore, so this is great. Of course, we will come back sick, but who cares?
Fine, I'm sure.
Who cares? Who cares?
So what trends are we seeing in the industry currently?
Okay, okay. So we are observing the trends by working with 300 global insurance companies and reinsurance companies that are partnering with FinTLV on a global basis. And then we collect all their reactions and their, trends for the future. So what we see is like 6-7 major trends. The first one is we can discuss about prevention. Prevention is taking very strong part in the future of the insurance industry, most in P&C and life and health, because we want to prevent the damage, we want to prevent the catastrophe, and instead of paying after the catastrophe, we will prevent it. So in P&C, for example, if you have a burst pipe, you want to stop the leak immediately and not wait 2 hours until we come back home and see the damage, the house is ruined. The same for diabetics and other diseases that you want to make the customer become more healthier. So prevention is very strong. The second trend is close to this, is on life and health, because life and health products are typically long-tail products. And when you have a long-tail product, it's very hard for you to understand what's going on with the policy, with the loss ratio of the customer, because you can't expect to know what would happen with FDA approvals, with new drugs, with new treatments, with new procedures and their costs. And therefore we see more and more insurance companies and reinsurance companies trying to minimize the times to make these products on shorter base, like for 5 years and renewals, etc., in order for them to make sure that they can cope with the advantages in medicine and with this long tail commitments. The third thing is ESG and carbon emission. I think most of the insurance companies are now focused on how to reduce their carbon footprint on one hand, how to reduce their investments in companies that having a huge carbon footprint, and in general, how to make the world looks better for the next years. We can also discuss about one of the major trends that we see is embedded insurance. And we expect this market to become a $3 trillion market in the next future, in the next 10 years. So we see huge progress in embedded insurance and parametric insurance, starting majorly from China and Asia. Because in China and Asia, you have a huge population that is underserved, underinsured, and you can sell them micro-insurance products, which typically are the first time they buy insurance. So we see companies like Alipay, like Zhonggan, companies like WeChat, they are providing insurance embedded on their platforms, and with this embedded insurance, they can have a very low customer acquisition cost that can afford them to make money on the microtransactions, which is quite hard to do, because any insurance companies in England, for example, if you want to make money from microtransactions, you can't do it because the cost of transactions with your old core systems costs you much more than the money you can make from this microtransaction. This is another trend. I think the last trend that we are looking at is a huge trend around cyber. We are getting more and more digital. We have more and more digital assets that we need to protect. And at the end of the day, most of these digital assets are exposed to cyber attacks and cyber threats. And therefore, all the board of directors of every company now, they say to their CEO, we need to have cyber protection and we need to have a cyber insurance. And this is one of the major challenges in the market now, to find the right capacity for these products. So these are the major trends that we can discuss about.
Fantastic, thank you so much. And how has innovation in technology affected the industry as well?
Wow, okay. So we can discuss about the journey that the insurance companies, insurance incumbents have been going through in the last years. So if 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, you would come to an insurance company and tell them, look, there are startups out there, they would be enlightened and they would say, oh wow, let's see how we are talking about it. It looks very cool to us. Let's try to pilot with them, let's do a lot of initiatives, and let's start understanding this ecosystem. So what happened in the last 5 or 6 years, we got to see the maturity of these incumbents is getting higher and higher. And the result is that at the beginning, they were able to partner with a lot of startups and do pilots. And these pilots led to almost close to zero results. Because the companies, the Insurtech companies, were not matured enough, the appetite of the insurance incumbent was not accurate, and the ecosystem was not supportive. Ecosystem including VCs, investments, etc. So what we are now seeing is a diversification in the taste and the appetite of the incumbents. On one hand, they are looking for more matured companies that they have already proven technology, and on the other hand, they are looking for companies that will provide them a significant business value and not just a PR value or innovation, because I think innovation, the word innovation, is bankrupt. Why it's bankrupt? Because if you are taking innovation with disconnecting it from the business of the company, then you can't use it and you don't have positive IRR on it. So most of these incumbents are now looking for positive innovation activities that would be close and directly connected to their business results. So looking for more matured companies with business-oriented results. The total result of all this process of maturity of these incumbents would provide a very difficult phase for the newcomers, new startups, because new startups that are now emerging, they would find it very hard to find a POC and design partnerships with these incumbents.
Fantastic, that's so interesting. And then so I guess moving on from that, how is consumer demand and needs for personalization affecting things at the moment?
Okay, this is taking me back to what we see in Asia. Mm-hmm. Because in Asia what we see billions of people that are not insured. Mm-hmm. And these billions of people, they are starting to have enough assets they need to protect. And so we see companies rising, like even from Akko in India, or Zhong'an in China, or in many places, companies that utilizes tons of data points coming from smart phones, coming from connected devices, etc., and utilize these data to new products for these customers, which are typically a small and micro insurance premiums that are very, very focused on the current demand of this customer for this moment. And maybe tomorrow it will be a different place. It can be an example, an insurance product for a pregnant lady that is going on a bus to protect her baby. Or small insurance products like taking a taxi from A to B. I want to protect you on this way. These micro insurance products, again, they have a very efficient core systems that can manage these billions of new policies on a very low average premium of 20-30 cents, and by doing that, you with a very strong platform that is efficient, you can make money out of this. We also see this coming into pension funds. For example, we see pension funds like Quanminbao in China. They are doing an embedded insurance pension fund with your Alipay. If you pay with Alipay, they will round the payment to the next one, for example, and this round is going to be directly sent to your pension fund. So at the age of 65, you will have some kind of a pension plan. These types of very personalized insurance programs.
Fantastic, amazing. And you mentioned earlier some challenges, but what are the biggest challenges in the industry currently?
Okay, I think there are a few challenges that are in regards with digital assets and digital protection. The first huge challenge now is to find the right capacity from reinsurance companies to the problem of cyber insurance, because cyber insurance has a huge demand and not enough supply from the market, because reinsurance companies, they are still in the vicious of cycle of cyber, which is we as a reinsurance company, we need to gain a lot of data to build our understanding and to build our pricing models and the actuarial models. This data is not fully provided by the ecosystem, because many companies, they want to hide that they were attacked, because they don't want anyone to know that they were attacked or they paid for it, etc. So we have a vicious cycle, but this cycle has to be ended, because at the moment the whole global world is in shortage of cyber premiums, and prices are going up very, very strongly on one hand, and on the other hand, reinsurance companies don't want to increase their exposure to cyber. Okay? And again, the second challenge that we see is we have huge platforms now that are digital. Cryptocurrencies, NFTs, metaverse, DeFi, all these new assets needs to be protected and are not protected at the moment by almost anybody. And this is something that will challenge us for the next upcoming years.
Amazing, that's so interesting. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.